Kyren Lacy's story isn't just about football, it's about resilience, mistakes, and second chances. Imagine reaching the peak of your career, the NFL calling, your dreams within reach. Now imagine it all slipping away in the blink of an eye. This is the story of a young man who had it all: talent, opportunity, and the world at his feet, only to face a tragic downfall. But here's the lesson. Kyren's journey is more than his mistakes. It's about learning from them. It's about the power of resilience in the face of unimaginable challenges. Today we dive deep into Kyren Lacy's life, how he went from a rising star to a cautionary tale, and ultimately, how we can find strength in even the darkest moments. Kyren Lacy was born on October 6, 2001, in Thibodaux, Louisiana, a small town where football isn't just a game, it's a way of life. From the moment he could hold a ball, it was clear. Kyren had something special. He wasn't just another kid on the field. He was the kid that everyone knew would go places. His talent was undeniable, his work ethic relentless. Like many young athletes in Louisiana, his dreams were big. He didn't just want to play football, he wanted to change his life and the lives of those around him. Throughout high school, Kyren's talent shone bright. He wasn't just good, he was exceptional. His speed, agility, and ability to read the game set him apart. Coaches from all over the country took note of his potential. But it wasn't just about football for Kyren. It was about making a name for himself, overcoming the odds, and showing the world what someone from Thibodaux could do. Kyren eventually committed to the University of Louisiana at Lafayette, ULL, where he quickly made his mark. His college years were filled with highlight reels and big plays, but it wasn't just the on-field success that made him stand out. It was his mindset. He was a student of the game, always striving for improvement, always pushing himself to be the best. In 2023, Kyren made a bold decision. He transferred to Louisiana State University, LSU, one of the top football programs in the country. This move was not just a career decision, it was a statement. Kyren knew that to reach the NFL, he needed to compete at the highest level. The SEC, one of the toughest conferences in college football, was the perfect stage for him to showcase his skills. His performance at LSU was nothing short of spectacular. With 58 catches, 866 yards, and 9 touchdowns, Kyren had cemented his place as one of the top wide receivers in college football. Scouts were taking note, and the NFL draft was just around the corner. Kyren's future was shining bright. He was a rising star with everything to play for. It felt like the world was his oyster, and he was about to crack it open. But just when it seemed like everything was falling into place, the cracks began to show. What many didn't see was the pressure that weighed heavily on Kyren's shoulders. The spotlight that had once felt exhilarating now felt suffocating. Every practice, every game, every decision seemed to come with an overwhelming amount of scrutiny. The pressure to perform, to succeed, to live up to the expectations of coaches, fans, and most of all himself began to take its toll. Kyren was young, still finding his way in the world. Success on the field was great, but it came with its own set of challenges. Challenges that Kyren didn't always feel equipped to handle. Behind the tough exterior and the star wide receiver persona was a young man struggling with mental health, stress, and self-doubt. These are things that aren't always visible, especially when the world is cheering you on. But they're real, and they can be dangerous if not addressed. In December 2024, Kyren was involved in a car accident that would change everything. According to reports, he was driving at a high speed, swerving into the wrong lane, and causing a head-on collision. The accident tragically resulted in the death of 78-year-old Herman Hall, a retired Marine. The news sent shockwaves through the football world, but it was only the beginning of the dark chapter that would follow. The charges were serious: negligent homicide, felony hit and run, reckless driving. Kyren was arrested, and the world that had once been his was now crumbling. The young man who had dreamed of the NFL was now facing legal battles that threatened to ruin his future. But the worst part wasn't just the legal charges. It was the guilt that Kyren carried. The weight of having caused someone's death, even unintentionally, was too much for him to bear. The months that followed were filled with silence. Kyren withdrew from the public eye, refusing interviews, staying off social media. He was no longer the confident, smiling player that had once dazzled crowds with his performance. Instead, he became a shadow of himself. The pain of what happened was clear in every interview, every conversation with friends. But beneath the pain, there was something else. A glimpse of the resilience that had carried him so far in the first place. Kyren didn't give up. He wasn't finished. The road to healing was long, but he knew that his story wasn't over yet. He sought help. He began to rebuild. It wasn't easy and it wasn't quick, but it was progress. It was a reminder that even in the darkest times, we can find the strength to rise again. Kyren Lacy's story is a reminder that no one is invincible. No matter how talented, how successful, how driven we are all human. We make mistakes, we face challenges, and sometimes those challenges feel impossible to overcome. But it's in those moments, when the weight of the world feels unbearable, that we have the chance to show our true strength. Kyren's life wasn't just about his football career. It was about his resilience, his ability to rise above the pain, and his willingness to keep going despite the odds. His story is a wake-up call for all of us, to never give up, to never stop learning, and to never let a mistake define us. Every day is a new chance to rise, to improve, and to become the best version of ourselves.